place where you can grow beyond your limitations and make an impact on the world. I am Erica Lynn. I will teach you how to take the restraints off of you, begin to live free, and become unstoppable. Go to ericalynnspeaks.com.
I say Erica Lynn Speaks. Erica Lynn Speaks.
Hello. This is your girl, Erica Lynn, and welcome back to another wonderful episode of Erica Lynn Speaks podcast, where we play big or go home. I'm so excited every Friday to come and bring you guys some of my excitement and some of my love and laughter and all of this stuff that I bring on this podcast. I hope you guys always enjoy this podcast. But before we get started, what do we always do? Make sure you share this podcast with everybody on your timeline. Tag some people, tell them, come on over. Let's get it in with Erica Lynn. Hell, you could even start a watch party. And if you're on YouTube, you can share it in people's text messages, or no matter where you're watching this podcast from, share it, invite people. I got enough of me for everybody. Anyway, I want you guys to let me know where you are watching this podcast from. So in the messaging app, let me know. Say, hey, Erica, I'm on Erica Lynn on Facebook. I'm on Erica Lynn Speaks on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. I'm on LinkedIn, whatever it is. Just let me know where you're watching this podcast from. And I will do my best to acknowledge you today. Hello, Martha, Mama. Hi, Rocky. How are you? Oh my God, I had an awesome time on your show last night. It was the bomb. I was like, man, she is the best host ever. I got to pick up a few pointers from your book, Rocky. You the bomb, girl. You is the bomb. Anyway, today we're going to talk about tell your story. I want to know your story. I want to know how your story was created, how you were created, how you got to this point. So we're going to talk about tell your story. But before we get to telling your story today, as you guys know, we're still in Black History Month. So today we're going to salute 3 Black great inventors in American history. Garrett Morgan, he was an inventor of the gas mask in 1916. Lonnie Johnson, the father of the Super Soaker in 1992. Everybody liked the Super Soaker. I know I love the Super Soaker. Like that made the summers the bomb. And then Patricia Bath, she removed cataracts in 2017. So in other words, we all have no excuses. You have no excuses. I have no excuses. We don't have any excuses. Before slavery was abolished, the United States Patent and Trademark Office excluded slaves from owning their own patents because slaves themselves were considered property. After the Civil War, Black inventors faced widespread and violent racism from white institutions that doubted their integrity. So I got a little video, you guys, about the 3. I'll be back in 36 seconds. So watch this video. And we are back. First of all, I want to shout out Sunflower Holdings for creating these videos for me because I wanted to pay tribute to African Americans for Black History Month. And I've been trying to, for the last 3 years, get some great content together. But I'm so busy being the brand, doing the show, running the business, doing everything. And sometimes I just can't do it all. And realizing that I can't do it all, it was great for me to support another Black business. So shout out to Sunflower Holdings. So if you guys need some videos done for your business, you know where to come. I'll connect you with her. And Rocky, she says, thank you. It was a pleasure having you. We learn from each other. Absolutely. And there's a few other people that I want to connect with that was on your show. I said I was going to send you an email today, but I had just been so busy doing everything. And then we have Lauren Bentley. She's watching the show today, you guys, from in my office. She's behind the camera because I talked to her at 5 o'clock in the morning, bugging her, like, what are you doing? Why are you quiet? Why are you distancing yourself from other people? I'm going to be in your face. You're going to be here with me. So anyway, she came over and helped me clean up my office because I got tired of looking good on camera. But then when I get off the camera, I'm like, I got stuff everywhere. So shout out for Lauren to coming over here and getting your girl together. I could think, got my mind right. And my mother is Martha. Hey, Martha, thank you for joining us. Today, we're going to talk about telling your story. You see, by telling your story, when you tell your stories to others, they bear witness. The notion that we are disconnected beings suffering alone dissolves under the weight of evidence that this whole concept is merely an illusion and that millions of other people are suffering just like us. They say misery loves company, and it is true. So by telling your story, sometimes you are really alleviating other people from going through the same things that you went through. You know how we talk about if, like I always say, successful marriages, right? You see those couples that have been together for 40, 50 years in marriage. Well, if you tell your story on what made your marriage successful, the good and the bad, when the next generation comes along, then we able to see that, man, it ain't gonna always be good. He might cheat on me. I might bust him up in the head with a bat, but we still, I don't condone violence, y'all. That's an inside joke. But anyway, but by telling your story and sharing your story with others, that will definitely help them go through, alleviate some of the things that they will go through in life. I didn't realize I had this. Let me fix this here. There you go. Had to change something on the screen. So anyway, so there is actually 10 or 11 things that you could do to tell your story. But today we're just going to go through 5 because I don't have a whole lot of time. I had a stressful day, but I'm still showing up, still showing out because I want you to tell your story. I want to hear all about you and what you did and how you got to this point. But one of the things that you can do, one of the ways that you can utilize in telling your story is let some simplicity be your guide. One of the reasons business people shy away from including stories in their communication with employees or customers is mistaken notion that the story has to have complex structure and has to be subject to some rigorous rules. Nothing could be further from the truth. Nothing can be further from the truth. At its core, an effective story structure is simple. Just tell people where you were, what happened, and why you're telling the story to them, or the end of the story. So in other words, you don't have to tell this massive story. You don't have to go to storytelling school. You don't have to sit down and get lessons to tell your story. You just sit down and let's just kick it. Let's kick it for a while. Tell me what is inside of you so that I may not have to repeat those same mistakes. Or on a better note, if you tell me a story of how you got here, how you struggled, how you worked hard, then I will realize like, dang, I got to work hard too. So let me tell you a simple story. I remember when I first started this podcast, and I always tell this story. When I got behind the camera, I used to go, hi, my name is Erica Lynn, and welcome to One Step Beyond Your podcast. And my friend said, why are you yelling? Like, people can hear you. My producer said, why are you yelling? The microphone that you bought is a really great microphone. It can pick your voice up in the other room. I said, well, I want people to hear me. Not only do I want them to hear me, I want them to feel me. I want them to understand what the passion that's coming out of me. I want it to come through my voice. Well, I quickly learned that I can deliver all the things that I want you to be, that I want to impact you with. I can deliver them without yelling. I can deliver them still with emotion and all the things that's inside of me that you can feel. But I can do it in a simpler way. Excuse me, you guys. I had a little tickle in my throat. Let me get a little water. You could do that when you get your own podcast. But you want to be simple about it. And so, even in your business model and your business structure, when you tell your story about your business, you want to make it simple. You want to make it something that people can remember. You want it to be easy. You want it to just, again, you want it to be simple. So, the next thing that you can do in telling your story is evangelize your story. What does that mean? There's a Native American saying that goes like this: it takes 1,000 voices to tell a single story. Similarly, it takes all the voices in your organization to tell your story. Don't be the only one who goes around telling the story of your company. Train everyone to tell the corporate story. Turn them into storytelling evangelists. Storytelling is the antidote to complacency. So get people excited about telling your story, right? If you got a good company and your employees love working for your company, they're going to always say good things about your company. That's the story. When your company is backing your employees up and you like, wow, I love their business model, I love the way they do things, they're going to say good things about your company. Even you in your relationships with how you deal with people. If you are good to people, if you're kind, if you show people love, then that person that you show kindness and love to, they're going to tell a story like, man, I remember meeting Martha, and I talked to Martha for the first time, and she was so nice and loving and kind. Man, you guys need to get y'all some Martha. You need to call Martha and talk to her. She'll keep you uplifted and motivated. Man, my experience of being on the Rocky reality show. Oh my God, Rocky rocked it. She was phenomenal. She was heartfelt. She was motivating. She was encouraging. She know how to control a stage with 5 people on there. The sister got it going on. That is me evangelizing my story about Martha and Rocky because they had a great impression on me, and I am able to return and deliver it to you. So if you do good things, people will say good things about you. Evangelize your story. Next, state your reason for telling your story. Your story needs to have a message, a clear takeaway from your listeners. It has to have a purpose and a point. You got to make a point. Why are you going to tell me a story if you don't have a point to it, right? A story without a message is pointless. It's in business, in life, whatever. Because I know sometimes I've told stories, right? And they go, well, what's your point? I'll be like, oh, I forgot. Okay. So you don't want to be like me some days and miss the point. Don't tell what you're talking about. So in some cases, you can also be bold and take it one step further by asking for the action. In certain articles, storytelling for business, Entrepreneur by Chris Bogan says a business story should end with a sense of what the reader who becomes a character or another kind can do with what he learned from the story. So, in other words, when you tell the story, people got to learn something from your story. Other than that, what's the purpose of your story, right? What's the purpose of me saying to you today, we want to tell your story? So, what I want to know is what is something about you that if you put it into a story, it would change somebody's life? That's the question. Just give me some few key words like my charisma, my love, my life, my attitude, my personality, my growth. But I want you to drop it in the drop down box. Y'all know I always got to give some assignments. So tell me, matter of fact, you can sum your story up in one word. If you could use one word, what would that one word be to describe you in your story? I want to hear. Let me go. Okay. So Lauren has says my smile and my bubbly personality. Absolutely. She does have a bubbly personality and she does have a beautiful smile. One day I'm going to take some pictures of Lauren so you guys can see Lauren and her bubbly personality and her beautiful smile. Anybody else? Do you guys have one or two words that would tell your story? Tell who you are, the core essence of who you are, or what you would want people to know about you? Put it in the comments section. I want to know all about you. Tell me your business, y'all. Tell me your business. And if you're watching us on YouTube, I want to know. Put the words in there. Put it down in the comment section. Okay. So but anyway, when you tell your story again, your story have to tell a reason. So we go to the reason about Lauren having a bubbly personality and a beautiful smile. That does tell a lot about her. No matter what she goes through in life, no matter how much I'm in her face, changing her outcome, impacting her, pouring into her, I know because she has a beautiful smile and a bubbly personality, when she's anything less than that, I'm on it. I want that smile always. I want that personality always. I don't care if I have to sacrifice myself some days, sacrifice my sleep to get that true story out of her, then that's what I'm going to do. So what did Martha say? Martha says, my wisdom, knowledge over my life experience. That's right, Martha. You know, they always say with age come wisdom, and you do have a lot of wisdom. And that wisdom comes from the experiences that you had. That wisdom comes from the things that you can look back to me and say, if I was you, I wouldn't do that. Let me tell you why. This was the outcome of me, of if you do that. I've been down that road again. Just, so we appreciate you, Martha. We love you for your wisdom and your life experiences, because your life experiences has made you who you are. Anybody else, if you joining us for the first time, I want you to drop down a word or two in the comments section to tell your story. That one or two words will tell me who you are or tell me something about you. It tells your story. I'm looking for you guys. Put it down in the comments section. So number 4 says prune your details. Woo. When we think of prunes, sometimes my face want to like curl up from prune, like, those prunes you eat. But really, if you think about the prunes you eat, it really just get rid of all the stuff that you don't need in your body, right? So if you prune your details, then what is it doing? Is getting rid of the stuff that's in your body, the stuff that's in your story that doesn't need to be there. Because we fall in love with our own story. We consequently end up including too many details. Ooh, I remember being that kind of writer. This will backfire as people start to tune you out, not understanding where you're going with your narrative. Guard against against this by crafting your story. Really, really focus on your story. Then walking away from it for a few days and revisit it with fresh eyes and start editing it. Well, because some of these steps that I'm giving you guys, they really can be used to write in a journal or write your book or write your blog or whatever it is that you want to share with the world. You can take these steps in your personal or in your professional life. Asking yourself if all your story elements really help to bolster your point. If not, prune out the superfluous details, give people enough detail to set the context and to help them experience the story and see what you see. Giving too few details doesn't work either, as it prevents people from envisioning your story. So aim for the right balance. I know y'all see me reading today, but if I tell you the story behind why I had to do this, things just didn't go right. I planned for, I'm supposed to plan for the live, right? So this is the story. I'm planning for the live. I'm getting the content together. I'm studying the content. Okay, but I get woke up at 2:00 in the morning saying, hey, I'm having issues with my flight. I'm kind of stranded. Can you help me? My phone won't call an American phone number. Oh, okay. So needless to say, going from 2:00 in the morning to now, I've been on the phone with airlines and international airlines and all this kind of stuff. And I needed to focus on that. So, and that's what I did. But I let none of that stop me, because I'm here today on this live because I want somebody to get something out of what I'm saying. So I hope this helps someone. So pruning out my details, meaning I'm going to let all that other stuff go, and which I did, and I still came on this live. But That is the only reason why y'all see me in my Gucci glasses today, because I didn't have time to go pop my contacts in. So do y'all like my glasses? Anyway, from the fifth point of this is use dialogue. You got to use dialogue. Make sure you include dialogue in your stories. That is, don't tell a story in the third person. Repeat for your listeners the actual words the person in your story spoke. For example, replace. He was surprised about the error I made with. He said, I can't fathom how you could make such an error. Dialogue personalizes your story, makes it more vivid, and brings it to life. Above all, dialogue causes additional brain regions and listeners brains to light up, says leadership development consultant Ryan Crossland in Voice Lessons, Applying Science and the Art of Leadership and Communication. This means that they'll pay more attention to what you're saying. As Crossland says, using dialogue significantly enhances a story stickiness. So in other words, you want to use dialogue. You want to keep people interested in what you're saying. You want to keep people interested in the message. You want to, so the whole, let me just sum it all up for you, right? Because I can go to the right, to the left. Then y'all be like, oh, prune all that out, prune, but I don't. The whole point of this is I want you to get your story together, because there's many of you that's watching this podcast today. And you did want to write a book. You do want to write a book, and you are going to write a book, but you have no clue on where to get started. So I just gave you 5 steps that will help you get started on writing your book. If you want to do a podcast or a blog, I gave you some steps to get you started. You want to be a speaker. You want to coach others. You want to use your story to change and make an impact on other people's lives. These are 5 steps that you can utilize to help you get started. I'll tell you the 5 steps again, and you can write them down. So if you guys got a pen and paper, write down these steps. Let simplicity be your guide. That's number 1. Number 2 is evangelize your story. Evangelize your storytelling. Number 3 is state your reason for telling your story. Number 4 is prune your details. That means get rid of all of the stuff that ain't supposed to be there. Like that and this and that. All that stuff that makes a sentence too long, and or details that doesn't need to be in there, or that you can summarize and make shorter. Number 5, use dialogue. Make sure that your dialogue, that you got dialogue in the story that makes people interested and really want to listen to your story, want to watch you, want to hear what you have to say. So those are 5 things that you can utilize to help you get started on writing your book. What did Martha say? Yes, I want those glasses in purple. Martha wants my glasses, y'all. She wants my glasses in purple. I'm going to have to get her some glasses like this. She doesn't like red, else she probably would have took these right off my face and put her own prescription in them. Anyway, you guys, so telling your story sometimes can be difficult. It could be strange. It could be like, why am I telling people my business? Why do I want to share this? But I want you to understand this one point. Telling your story really could be the difference in saving somebody's life. Telling your story could be the difference of somebody doing something that they're going to regret for the rest of their life. Telling your story is going to impact somebody somewhere, somehow, because they're going to resonate with something that you have to tell in your story. You see, I remember if I had to really sit back and listen to somebody say to me, Erica, you don't want to climb on that pole. You don't want to do that. And this is why. This is not the glory of it. This is the pain of it. I probably would have went a different route and tried something else. And then you think about the young men that's out here selling drugs because they got to make ends meet. But then you have the inmates, right? The inmates that's coming there and they're sharing their story saying, hey, this is the result of you selling those drugs. You're going to end up in here for 5 to 10 to 15 years, and your whole life is going to be wasted. And when you come out, Your kids is going to be grown or taller than you. You're going to miss out on so much of their life. So what I'm saying to you guys is I want you to get your story together. I want you to use these 5 points, and I want you to share your story. I want you to make an impact and a difference on somebody else's life. Now, if what I said to you today about sharing your story made a difference, I want you to type it in the comment section at the bottom. Yes, it made a difference. And yes, Erica, I'm going to get my story together, because I always said about ideas, right? Where are the best ideas? The best ideas are said to be in the grave. Why are they in the grave? Because some people had some of the best ideas and have taken those ideas to the grave with them and have not started those inventions that as we have on these great African American inventors, as I showed you today, like the super soaker. What if Lonnie took the super soaker to his grave? Do y'all know how miserable the summer would be without me being able to and, and wet you up? Well, that's the same with your story. Get your story together so that you can make a difference in the world. What did Tatiana say? Looking stunning as you. Oh, thank you, Tatiana. Thank you. Tatiana, can you name for me one word that would tell your story? One or two words that would tell the story of who you are and what impact that you would make on the world. I always got to give homework. But anyway, so like I said, this whole podcast was dedicated to telling your story. So when we come back next week on next Friday's live, we're going to talk about the last 5 steps of telling your story. And I really, really hope that some people say, hey, Erica, I started a book, I started writing a podcast, or even I've gotten better with my journaling. Whatever it is, I decided I've shared my story. I've spoke it out. I've written it out. I've did what I had to do to share my story. But I want you guys to get your story together, write it on paper or whatever you need to do to share your story. But and so I'm just excited. So Tatiana says that her story would be blessed and knowledgeable. Oh, that's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. That means that somebody has been protecting you. Somebody has been watching over you. Somebody has been granting you with some of the blessings in life. Somebody that you have favor. That's the word. You have favor, Tatiana. And being knowledgeable means that you just didn't take that favor for granted and say, oh, I'm gonna go through life because I'm favored, right? I'm blessed. I don't have to work. You still put in the hard work by obtaining the necessary knowledge that you need to continue to grow, to take those blessings to a whole nother level. Did I sum up your story right, Tatiana? Did I sum you up right, sister girl? you know. So anyway, what would be my one word? 1 or 2 words. I gave you guys an assignment. My 1 or 2 words would be motivating, encouraging, smile. Oh, look, I got a lot of words. Smile all the time. And spreading love. Oh, this would be my newest word. Stretched. Stretched. God is stretching me. He's stretching me further than I've ever been stretched before. So that would be my new word, stretched. I'm even praying. Great long prayers, y'all. If y'all met me a couple of years ago and you asked me to pray in front of other people, I would totally choke. Couldn't even pray. Look, you know that one prayer, God is good, God is great. That probably was all I had. But now I'm able, because I allow God to stretch me. That's my story, y'all. I'm able to pray for you and as many others on this podcast and off the podcast. Tatiana says, and I spread it everywhere I go. Absolutely. She spread that knowledge everywhere she go. And what else she says? That smile, that spread of positivity really does help the next person. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I'm never going to say this enough. You can never say this one thing enough. When you walk into a room, a store, a business, work, whatever, speak. How you doing? Especially now with COVID, right? When you got the mask on, They can't even see your smile. They can't see your face. All they can see is your eyes. And when they see your eyes, sometimes your eyes don't tell your story. Sometimes your eyes make it seem like you mean or whatever. Even if that's not who your personality is, you could be smiling totally under the mask, but nobody can see that. So what do you have to do? You're forced to communicate, right? Because they can't read your lips. And yeah, so excuse me. So say hi, how are you? How was your day? I always like to compliment people. I'm like, I'm a super person. Like, oh, your shoes is beautiful. Your hair is great. I love you, right? There's no shade, there's no hate. I just love to compliment a queen or a king out here today, man, because I love a good smelling man. I'm sorry, y'all. That's never gonna change. Anyway, so I hope you guys learned something today on today's podcast. I'm really chill out today, right? But even though I'm chill, I still have excitement. I'm excited about continuing to tell my story. I have some great things that's unfolding. And I'm excited about sharing them with you guys. The One Step Beyond You Academy will be releasing soon. So if you guys are interested in the One Step Beyond You Academy, where you want me to help you grow, glow, take it to the next level, do all the things that you know that you were meant to do, give your girl a call. All you got to do is go to ericalynnspeaks.com, work with me. You can get a free consultation, or you can just inbox me, say, Erica, how can I work with you? But most importantly, I want you guys to, where is it? I want you guys to go to my homepage on my website. Go to the website, right? Right now, when we stop, go to the website. And I want you to go to ericalynnspeaks.com. I put the website up here. And there's a free guide there that says 3 steps to becoming the best you. I want you to be the best you. I want you to pull out the things that's inside of you that is meant to share with the world, that's meant to make you a better person. It's time to exercise those things that's inside of you. It's time for me to help you stretch yourself. Hello, Kimberly. How are you? And I have not forgot about you. I have been waiting on some members of my team to call me back. And so I will reach out to you after the live. Actually, I'll call you after the live. So I have not forgot about you. And thank you for joining us on the live today. What did you say, Martha? I will always speak it. Makes people feel better. Absolutely. When you speak it, you feel it. When you speak it, they feel it. When you speak it, when you speak good things, then people you ever see like, oh, it just make your day. But just imagine when you speak negative things to people, then they like, or you could just really totally ruin somebody's day. And that's probably where that saying used to come. If you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. You know, but I want you guys to be encouragers. I want you to be rebels of love. I want you to speak positivity out in the atmosphere. Speak to the people that you see when you go into the store. Starting today, when you go into the store, when you go somewhere, say hi. How are you? Oh, I like those shoes. I like your hair. Oh, you nice. Whatever it is, speak something of encouragement to someone else so that you can help make their day, you know? And that's part of your story. You're the encourager. Let's make somebody else's day. And lastly, Tatiana says, you'd be surprised what a huge difference and impact it has on someone, just that smile or speaking to them. Absolutely. I do it all the time. Even at work, I speak to everybody. I'm like that bubbly personality. Sometimes I be so bubbly, people can't even stand me. Like, I just want to be mean. I just want to be mean. I don't want to be nice to Erica. I don't want to be, I just want to stay in my little funky place. Well, you can't stay in your little funky place. Well, you can stay where you want to stay, but I'm going to tell you where I'm going to go. It ain't going to be in that funky place. I'm going to get it going on. So what you say, when you're nasty to someone, you don't know, it might just be the last straw for them. You know what? That is so true, Tatiana, because you could say something to somebody that just totally demolishes their insides. They might have that fake smile, you know, that fake smile like this. They may have that fake smile, but on the inside, you have totally crushed so many things inside of them. And you don't know if that person was struggling with depression, with bipolar, with mental illness, with just feeling not good enough. And you say something negative to them, you really don't know what the cause, what the effect could be of what the words is that come out of your mouth, right? And that's the truth. So what else do we have? Yes, that's why I loved you from the first day I met you. I thank you, beautiful love and spirit. Thank you so much. Thank you. I love you. I love everybody that watches me. I love everybody that is attached to me. I try to spread as much love as I can. And I'm human, right? I have my bad days, but I'm very honest and clear. Like, hey, I'm not having a good day today, you guys. Or because I give out so much love to other people, when I'm not having a good day, y'all just pour it right back into me, and it just snaps me right back to being the person who I am every single day, right? My quirkiness, my goofiness, the woman who is called to lead other women, the woman who is called to make an impact, the woman who is called to change the bad things that you feel about yourself, so that not only can you heal, fix those things, but then you could become the woman that you have always wanted to be, the woman that you are called to be. So I want you guys to keep on loving yourself. Keep on uplifting. Keep on growing. Keep on moving. Don't stop, you guys. Don't stop. Make me proud. You guys need to come on and join the One Step Beyond You Academy, so that we can be in the group together, just like growing. I can't wait to see the amazing things that's going to come from you guys. What did Kimberly say? She's good. And I look forward to hearing from you. Absolutely, Kimberly. I am going to call you. So anyway, you guys, y'all know I only do the podcast for 30 minutes because I woosah. Being here with you guys, it allowed me to woosah from the stressful morning that I had today. And regardless of what happened in my day, I still want to always make sure I pour love out to you guys. I got a little commercial for you all that I want you to watch. It just talks a little bit about my programs one of the programs that I have coming out. But for those of you all who want to work with me and you don't know how to work with me, you could go to ericalynnspeaks.com. You can get your free consultation, and then we can move forward, and I can help you become the best you. Kenyatta Robinson. I used to have that type of heart, but when you're hurting inside, dealing with a bad marriage, it's so hard to express how your true feelings really is. I hate that I'm such a lovable and bubbly person, but I look into others' positive vibes to help me look beyond my own feelings. Thank you. Well, Kenyatta, you are human and you are a beautiful person. You are a wonderful person. You are wonderfully made. Sometimes we do have to go through things in order to learn our lesson. So we have to be tested. We have to understand our strengths and our weaknesses. And when you're in a bad marriage, sometimes that marriage, you don't seem like you're going to come through it, right? Like that you're not going to come out of it on the brighter side. But while you're going through the mist, when you're going through the mist, it's not that good, right? It doesn't seem that great. But I want you to be conscious of the lessons that you should be learning while you're going through that mist. So when you come out of it, now you're able to add on to the lesson that you learned so that you don't have to repeat that lesson again. Second, I want you to always love yourself unconditionally, regardless about what someone else says or does to you. I want you to love yourself. And you say, Erica, how easier than done? Right? How can I do that when the things that I'm experiencing are making me sad or making me depressed? Well, I'm going to tell you, I've been in a bad marriage. I've been there. I've been abused. I've been mentally, physically, emotionally. My self-esteem was so low. I was like, whoa, okay. And why do I have to experience this? For me, mine was the lessons. There were lessons that I had to go through so that I can help you. You can and will overcome this. You can and will make it through this. See, the book that I wrote, The 7 Techniques of Healing, if you want to get a copy, let me know. I want you to get a copy of The 7 Techniques of Healing. 7 techniques of healing. It also tells you about some of my stories of the things that was said to me made me, how can I say it? The things that was said to me basically pushed me down so low. I don't, some days I wouldn't even know how I made it to this point. But I was able to go back and get resurrection or resolution later on, to have a conversation with that individual and really express to him the things that he said and did to me that put me in that state of mind. But let me tell you, baby, success is always the best revenge. It is the best revenge that you can ever have in your life. So, Kenyatta, I want you to work on success. What does success means to you? Growing and loving yourself unconditionally, surrounding yourself with other like-minded individuals who's going to continue to walk with you and help you grow. Um, Come on in. Kenyatta, what I want you to do, go to ericalynnspeaks.com on my homepage and get the free download, 3 Steps to the Best You. And then I want you to go on the Work With Me page, and I want you to sign yourself up for a free consultation. I want us to talk. I want to kick it with you, girl. Let's talk. Let's kick it. But I've been on this live this is my first time doing the live for more than 45 minutes. I usually do a 30-minute live. But I understand when God calls me, I have to be obedient and listen. And I'm being obedient, and I want to pour into you. So, Kenyatta, make sure you go to ericalynnspeaks.com, sign up for the free consultation, and get the free download so that I can continue to pour into you, and we can chat, we can talk. So I'm excited. If anybody else have anything else they want to ask me or they want to contribute, please do it now, so that other than I'm about to go, just say, okay, I really want to talk to you. Absolutely, I'm here. Let's go ahead and do it today. And I'll be looking forward to it. And I'll reach back out to you. Once you do that, it'll send me your information and I'll communicate with you. I love you guys. I want you to stay blessed. I want you to stay loving yourself. I want you to continue to tell your story. And if you feel that you don't have a story to tell, we're going to get it together, because everybody has a story to tell. It's about how you put your story together, how you release the unnecessary dialogue, how you prune all the other stuff out so that your story can be impactful. What did she say? Okay, I really want to talk with you. Kenyatta says, Tatiana Price, my niece, she sent me your link. Okay, absolutely. Thanks, a blessing. I love you guys. And watch my little 40-second commercial. And I'll see you guys next Friday for part 2 of Telling Your Story. I'm Erica Lynn. I love you guys. And always remember to take one step beyond you. God bless you. And I'll see you next Friday.
Are you ready to become unstoppable? Be bold, live free, and walk in your fearlessness? Are you ready to be courageous? If you are ready to play big and make your mark in life, if you are ready to break free, it is time for you to realize your full purpose in life by allowing Erica Lynn to help you break free from your boundaries. Break free beyond your limitations. Elevate your power. Play big while moving into your biggest step forward in your life. To find out how, go to ericalynnspeaks.com and sign up for the One Step Beyond You signature program today.
This podcast was brought to you by ericalynnspeaks.com. Sign up for your free consultation today at ericalynnspeaks.com/work with me. And just remember, it only takes just one step beyond
beyond you. I say Erica Lynn Speaks.